Carbonara means happiness for me. It's one of the most traditional pasta and one of the most delicious and really tasty pasta. Deliziosa.
源自羅馬嘅卡邦尼意粉，據講係二次大戰之後出現嘅菜式，因為個名嚟自意大利文 carbonaro， 亦即係煤礦工人嘅意思，所以有人話呢個菜式係源自煤礦工人。
The charcoal mine, the people working inside there, they don't have too much ingredient. They just put the ingredient together and they eat whatever they have. A good carbonara must taste like eggs, ham and cheese.
正宗嘅卡邦尼意粉用雞蛋同埋羊奶芝士打成嘅蛋汁，加埋鹽漬嘅豬面夾肉，趁熱將意粉撈勻，最後加埋黑椒碎就大功告成。雖然簡單，但係要做得好，絕對唔容易。
The egg sauce is the secret. It's really important in order to make a good carbonara.
坊間有好多唔同嘅做法，有人堅持唔加忌廉，亦都有人中意加忌廉。
Absolutely not. Not. We don't use cream at all. If the people don't know how to make the carbonara, they're using the cream because it's easy to make the creamy.
最重要係意大利人覺得食卡邦尼意粉就係食蛋香同埋芝士香，加咗忌廉就會蓋過其他味道。
Okay, you must use the Italian eggs. The yolk is really intense of color and flavor. It's really intense. We're using the Japanese eggs because the market now is easy to take that one. It's even more intense than the Italian one.
佢就中意淨係用蛋黃。
First of all, because the egg white have no taste. The taste is from the egg yolk. Second, it's really easy to cook the egg white. It's faster than the egg yolk. That's why you must separate.
佢嘅蛋汁仲有一個美味秘訣，就係將豬面夾肉炒出嚟嘅油脂加入蛋汁入邊，令到味道更加香。
Guanciale ham is a pork cheek, cured pork cheek. It's more intense the flavor. It's a different kind of marinated. Put in the salt, and after you put the pepper and the rosemary, the herbs on top, and they marinate and they press 3 to 4 or 5 months, so the water come out, and it's balanced with the fat and the meat. But if it's too oily, maybe the sauce is not really balanced. It's not easy to broken the sauce.
佢都係落羊奶芝士，但係份量就唔會太多。
Pecorino is quite salty, so if you put too much pecorino and the guanciale ham is salty too, became too salty.
做卡邦尼意粉唔一定要用新鮮意粉，佢就中意用呢隻意大利品牌嘅乾意粉，貪佢嘅掛汁效果非常好，麥味濃郁又有咬口。除咗用好嘅材料，煮法都好緊要。好多人都會喺鍋入邊煮蛋汁，但係佢認為呢個方法先係最好。
We're using outside the fire and then we mix with the pasta which is hot and mix the sauce. The sauce became hot. Because if you have the fire on the pan and you put the eggs, it's gonna cook right away. If you overcook the eggs, it became like a scrambled eggs. The proteins coagulate and then became pieces. It's no more creamy. If the egg is undercooked, it's really liquid. Because the secret is make the eggs to put around the pasta to make it like a sauce.
充滿蛋香、鹹香同埋芝士香嘅卡邦尼意粉，大人小朋友都中意食，難怪可以成為意大利人嘅國民美食。
Buon appetito! My childhood memories, it's about actually my grandma. She used to cook always bolognese sauce. It reminds me a lot of great moments together actually. And I still remember the smell and the pot. So remind me home actually. Tagliatelle bolognese come from Bologna, which is the main city in Emilia-Romagna. Salsa bolognese, it's a meat sauce actually.
肉醬意粉喺香港都已經深入民心，不過喺餐廳食到嘅唔係醬汁太稀，就係味道太甜冇茄香。問題喺邊度呢？
Yeah, mixed sauce is very important because it's the main ingredient of the recipe actually.
做肉醬嘅材料有好多，有洋葱、西芹、甘筍碎、牛肉、西班牙火腿、新鮮番茄、番茄醬、蒜頭同埋香草。佢認為正宗嘅肉醬意粉應該係咁先至好味。
The sauce must be very rich must be sweet from the tomato actually, and a bit fat from the meat, not too dry.
口感滑溜，有肉味得嚟，又有菜香。要做到呢個味道，花功夫係必然。先用慢火將洋葱、西芹同埋紅蘿蔔、西班牙火腿炒成蔬菜醬底，再加入新鮮番茄、番茄醬同埋牛肉粒，慢火煮至少個半鐘。
More you cook the sauce, more it becomes taste. The tomato changed from sour to sweet with the vegetables, with the meat all together to make creamy and thick the sauce. Maybe not cooked enough, it's not creamy enough, so it becomes liquid, right? And not tasty.
佢除咗堅持用傳統做法，仲有一個美味秘訣，就係先將牛肉煎香，用手切粒之後放入真空袋入邊，連埋牛仔肉湯同埋香料一齊低溫慢煮12小時。
Because we want keep the meat very tender and soft. We cut by cubes so to have a different texture.
肉醬要做得好，肉嘅配搭都好重要。
We choose beef and a little bit of pork with the right amount of fat. The fat will give some aroma to the sauce.
另外，又會用新鮮車厘茄配搭秘製番茄醬嚟加強茄香。意大利人食肉醬意粉，原來唔中意配意大利麵。
So we use traditionally the tagliatelle with the bolognese sauce. Yeah.
每日用意大利零零麵粉同埋全蛋嚟做意粉，非常新鮮。入口煙韌得嚟，又有蛋香。每條意粉都掛上滑溜嘅肉醬同埋濃濃嘅茄香，正。
Without a good bolognese sauce, the pasta, the tagliatelle will not taste delicious.
停課不停學，號召有心人出手，撐學生睇足1年蘋果。
Buon appetito! I was just 13. I was coming back from school and my grandmother used to cook for me, and when I started to cook myself and I wanted to have my freshly made pasta, of course the first pasta I was doing is this. Buonissimo! The aiolo is definitely the simplest pasta on earth. So this pasta is made just by 4 ingredients. Aglio e olio literally meaning garlic and oil. You always put chili as well, and if you want some fresh parsley as well. Ingredients that in Italy everyone has at home. This dish was probably made for the first time in Napoli. It was a very poor dish for family that cannot afford maybe to buy fish, to buy meat. They used to do this dish, which is very simple, cheap in a way, and also very quick.
好食嘅香蒜橄欖油意粉，佢認為要具備呢啲條件。
Well, you can smell, of course, garlic, fresh oil, nice texture of the pasta, which has to be al dente, of course, and then the spiciness of the chili. So the parsley is the note that refresh a little bit your palate while you're eating it.
呢個意大利人嘅家常意粉做法其實好簡單，將蒜片同埋辣椒先後放入橄欖油。蒜片煮到金黃色之後，就可以將烚好嘅意粉放入鍋裏邊兜勻，最後加埋番鹽西碎，就大功告成。既然咁容易喺屋企煮到，點解仲要出街食
？As you have only just 4 ingredients, you need to manage the ingredients properly in order to do it as it best. To make this dish properly, you need the right quantity of garlic. You need to have at least 3-4 cloves to enhance the flavor of the garlic in the garlic, because it's the main flavor is garlic, so it has to be predominant. Remove the soul of the garlic. This part is usually bitter when you cook, so you open the garlic in half and you remove this soul from inside. And then the process of roasting the garlic in the oil is also very important, because this roasting process allow the garlic flavor to be infused in the oil. So I suggest to add the garlic into cold oil and slowly put the power of the heats high. If you have a hot oil and you put garlic inside, it's very easy to burn. So you need to see the color of the garlic is light brown, goldish, but never too dark brown. Otherwise it starts to be bitter.
除咗要小心處理蒜片，辣椒都唔可以忽視。
So the chili I usually put a few minutes after the garlic because chili is easier to burn than the garlic.
如果想落埋乾辣椒碎，就要隔咗啲蒜片同埋辣椒先至落。
So if you put too early the chili flakes in the pan, you have the risk that the chili flakes gonna burn, and then you don't have a nice flavor out of it.
要做得好，關鍵就係呢個步驟。
After I remove the pasta from the boiling water, I cook the last 20% of the time inside the olive oil, and the starch, by stirring the pasta together with olive oil, will create an emulsion. This will give as a result a pasta which is shiny, is moist, but is not oily.
做到條條意粉都掛上蒜汁，食完之後就唔怕成碟油。佢做嘅香蒜橄欖油意粉，仲有一個美味秘訣，就係煮意粉嘅時候落咗啲煮意粉嘅水。
The pasta water helps, as containing starch, helps to emulsify the sauce for having a proper aglio olio. So you could see as well, all the oil that I put was not released on the plate because the pasta had absorbed all this mixture between the starch and the oil in a way that is smooth, shiny, and creamy.
呢度加上嘅意粉要做到色香味俱全，原來一啲都唔容易。
Buon appetito! Since a young age was a season of red plum, and we get it from the sea close to our restaurant in Liguria. The most famous is from Sicily. Quite a unique feeling of the red plum. To be more crunchy, more intense flavor. Buonissimo!
睇佢食到舐舐脷就知有幾好食。意大利南部出名盛產紅蝦，但係識食嘅都知道，西西里島嘅紅蝦最優質。佢哋係生長喺水深200至1000米水域嘅野生品種，肉質特別爽滑，蝦膏又香甜，散發住海水嘅天然鹹香。不過捕捉好困難，產量又有限，加上越大隻，價錢就越貴，所以只有高級餐廳先至捨得用。一份紅蝦意粉至少賣400-500蚊。紅蝦係主角，呢位米芝蓮3星主廚認為最好嘅食法就係用紅蝦嘅蝦頭嚟做汁煮意粉，而蝦身就直接煎香。紅蝦意粉要做得好食，蝦汁非常重要。淨係用嚟做蝦汁嘅材料都有10幾種，將蒜頭同埋月桂葉爆香之後，落烤過嘅蝦頭、茴香子、白胡椒，仲有茄醬同埋橙皮，當然唔少得落乾邑同埋白酒嚟調味，味道會更加香。
In fact, I cook a fast stock, 10-15 minutes. It takes you very fast, but you really need to get all the flavor out.
如果煮得太耐，香味就好易流失。除咗要掌握時間，佢話蝦汁要做得好，最重要係要以本傷人。
Yeah, number one, you have a good amount of red plum.
紅蝦指定要用最大隻嘅，因為越大就越多膏，而且蝦頭要夠多，熬出嚟嘅汁先夠香濃。平均做20份紅蝦意粉就要用3公斤蝦頭，水嘅份量亦要控制得好。
Because if you put too much, you overcook the stock, and I don't like. I want the freshness of the shrimps. If you put too little, it's too dry. You cannot get the flavor out.
紅蝦要嫩滑先至好食，所以蝦肉要同蝦汁分開煮。
Roast slightly and don't overcook the prawn. Otherwise, you lose the flavor and you lose the texture.
最後用番茄同埋蝦汁嚟煮啱啱烚好嘅意粉，佢用嘅意粉亦都大有來頭。
I'm using at the moment, I really like the Gragnano Gentile pasta.
呢款被米芝蓮廚師認為係全世界最好嘅乾意粉， 表面比較粗糙，烹調嘅時候特別容易吸汁，加上用低溫風乾，保留到小麥嘅香氣。
I like the bite of it. Yeah. The pasta absorbs the flavor and then put back the prawn. And then I put some fresh herb. A nice sweet aroma goes well with the red prawn.
好食嘅紅蝦意粉要有呢種味道。
Tastes like red prawn if you're eating raw red prawn, yes. It doesn't have to taste too much tomato or whatever, you know, just the right balance.
因為10幾年前咧，去沙巴天年嗰個老闆咧邀請我屋企聚餐，正嗰日咧就係好凍嘅，大約5、6度啦。佢攞盤熱辣辣嘅辣生出嚟，有香濃嘅肉味啊，同埋好重嘅芝士味咯，感覺上好旺好窩心啊！真係。
千層麵嘅做法與別不同，其實係喺幾塊好似手巾仔咁大嘅麵皮裏邊加入肉醬、白醬同埋芝士，再焗到金黃色而成。據講，佢大約800年前起源於意大利南部，之後普及到全國，由南到北都有唔同嘅口味。佢係唯一能夠做主菜嘅意大利麵，因為可以一次過做較多嘅份量，同埋可以預先準備，到食嘅時候先至翻熱。不過呢道菜唔係咁多餐廳肯做。
呢個 pasta 咧絕對係一個功夫菜嘅，做法雖然係簡單，但係之前咧花一段頗長嘅時間去準備功夫。好多人咧即係寧願做3個 pasta， 都唔寧願做一個嘅拉沙。
就算有做，味道都好平凡，唔係肉醬太油膩，就係又乾又唔夠香。好食嘅肉醬千層麵，首先要做好肉醬，先用慢火將紅蘿蔔、洋葱同埋西芹炒香，再加入免治牛肉、香草同埋番茄，慢火煮大約1個鐘，要煮到水分收乾，先至會有肉香同埋菜香。佢仲指定要用帶少少脂肪嘅澳洲和牛西冷，咁樣煮出嚟嘅醬汁就唔會乾啦。傳統嘅肉醬千層麵仲要有呢樣，
做拉沙其中一個秘訣咧係做呢個白汁啦，白汁可以令到個奶香味嗰個拉沙更加香滑啊。
做白汁嘅材料好簡單，只有麵粉、牛油同埋牛奶，不過就要好花心機去做。
唔可以心急，你炒牛油同埋麵粉，然後再慢慢加呢個奶，搞成呢個白汁。如果你想要個白汁咧更加香滑啲咧，你啲奶熟少落，搞到起筋咧，有一次過倒晒落去咧就咧冇咁香滑。
麵皮同樣都考究，用意大利嘅零麵粉、粗粒小麥粉同埋全蛋嚟做，非常新鮮，食落特別煙韌，又有蛋香。煮麵皮都比其他意粉多功夫，將麵皮煮好之後，即刻浸冰水，抹乾之後，再輕輕搽橄欖油。跟住就可以將一層白汁、一層麵皮、一層肉醬同埋芝士逐一放上去。傳統嘅做法有水牛芝士同埋巴馬臣芝士，大約會鋪到6、7層。
煮其他 pasta 係需要幾分鐘時間，整呢個由到尾啊，即係要成個鐘頭
要。焗到金黃色就大功告成。好食嘅肉醬千層麵，除咗入口熱辣辣，更加要軟滑，芝士有拉絲，既有奶香又有肉香。呢道功夫菜要做得好，少啲心機都唔得㗎。